The opening political salvos already have been fired well ahead of the pivotal Taiwan presidential election next January, with outgoing President Tsai Ing-wen angering Beijing with a visit to the United States and meeting with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. China retaliated with 3 days of live-fire military exercises around Taiwan. This as the opposition Kuomintang, or KMT, sent its pro-China engagement former president, Ying-Jeou, to mainland China, the first such visit by a former Taiwan leader since 1949. We're talking two parties quite literally positioning themselves in opposite directions in an increasingly divided geopolitical landscape between China and the U.S. Both trips were seen as calculated risks for both parties for an election that will likely pit Tsai's vice president, Lai Ching-te, who maintains that Taiwan already is independent, versus a so far unknown KMT challenger, possibly party chair Eric Zhu, Taipei City Mayor Hou You-yi, or even Foxconn Technology founder Terry Guo, who all favor closer ties with China.
You heard from Xi Jinping personally, as well as Foreign Minister Qin Gang, that the U.S. is at the center of all that's wrong in the world, and that China is going to stand tough on a lot of issues, including in Taiwan.
The geopolitics is going to remain, unfortunately, and that's going to be a several-year issue that's probably going to continue.
But will it escalate? That's the risk. So far, China and the U.S. have tried to downplay the Tsai and Ma trips so as to not make an already tense relationship worse.
I don't think any serious thinker in the government in the United States or in China or in Taiwan really believes that there's going to be a war in the shorter term or even in the medium term. I think we're still in the diplomatic arena. And
yet, following then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan last year, that arena quickly became a military one, when China's People's Liberation Army encircled the island with simulated assaults. And shortly after, Taiwan voters handed the DPP a resounding defeat in local elections that largely reflected frustration over the rising cost of living, but also hinted that President Tsai's party could be vulnerable next January, when debate will undoubtedly turn to cross-strait ties. With U.S.-China friction increasingly centered around Taiwan, the winner will immediately step into a role that could determine the trajectory of geopolitics and the global economy for years. Stephen Engle, Bloomberg News.